everyone, and welcome to Babies with Knives. This is Crash Course Corner, where we teach you the basics of how to play a game system. Today's game system is Icons Assembled Edition. I'm Alice Peng, aka Lala Twiddle on the boards.
And I'm Brandon Powers.
Icons Assembled Edition is a costume superhero system written by Steve Kenson and published by Ad Infinitum Adventures. Icons is written to be an easily accessible superhero game where characters can be made quickly and easily. It's a goal in the game that a table of players should be able to generate their characters for playing in roughly 15 minutes.
In Icons, 2d6 are rolled for all action resolutions. Before each roll, each die is identified as either positive or negative. The positive die rolled is added to the static value, and the other die rolled is subtracted from the static value. The total is then compared against a target number, or TN. If the modified roll exceeds the TN, then the action is successful. If the roll is less than the TN, the action fails, and if the roll meets the TN, it is barely a success.
Sometimes it isn't enough to know if you succeeded or not, but how well you succeeded or failed. If you tie the target number, you have made a moderate success. This is often a partial success or a yes but kind of situation.
Going up and down from 0, you have 2-point brackets, 1 to 2 for moderate success and failure, 3 to 4 for a major success and failure. Anything that is 5 or more higher or lower than the target number is a massive success or failure.
Sometimes this will be important to the narrative. Other times it will have a system-reflected benefit to succeeding or failing in a spectacular fashion.
The character sheet we'll be referencing belongs to All-American Girl, number 3. This character was created by Jason Tondreau and drawn by Dan Hauser. You can find her in the Field Guide to Superheroes, Volume 4.
I'll be sure to leave a link in the description for you. Abilities and powers will have a level rating to show how effective they are, ranging from a 1 being weak all the way up to 10 being supreme.
Levels 2 and below are below average. 6 is defined as the maximum human ability, and anything beyond 6 is considered a superpower.
The abilities box is the upper right side of the sheet. Here you can see All-American Girl's 6 abilities. Every person, whether super or normal, would have a level in each of these abilities. Prowess is a character's ability to fight in close combat, with or without weapons. Coordination represents speed, agility, and hand-eye coordination. Strength is both muscles and overall fitness. Intellect represents both intelligence and book learning. Awareness is ability to notice things and react quickly. Lastly, willpower demonstrates a character's discipline, courage, and social grace.
For All-American Girl, we see that she has a 6 in both her prowess and coordination, meaning that she is the peak of human perfection in both of these areas. For both strength and intellect, she is a 4, which makes her above human average. Finally, her awareness and willpower are both 5, giving her the abilities of exceptional humans in these areas. Because All-American Girl's abilities are all 6 and below, none of them are considered superpowers.
Below the box for abilities are stamina and determination. These two statistics are currencies for icons. Stamina represents how much damage a character can take after defenses. A character's stamina is determined by adding their strength and willpower together. So it'll take both physical and mental exhaustion into account. When you run out of stamina, you fall unconscious. All-American Girl has a strength of 4 and a willpower of 5, so she has a stamina of 9.
Determination is a pool of points that allow characters to go above and beyond and do extraordinary things. A character has a determination score equal to 6 minus the number of superpowers they have, with a minimum score of 1. Characters start each session with a number of determination points, or DP, equal to their determination. DP can be spent in a variety of ways to assist a character and are regained when they are exposed to trouble. When All-American Girl was a beginning character, she would have had a determination of 4, having only 2 powers, and none of her abilities are high enough to be superpowers. However, she currently has only 2 determination because she has spent her other determination advancing her character.
The second big box on the character sheet is powers. These represent the capabilities of a character beyond normal human bounds. Icons Assembled Edition provides a chart for the origins of a power, including extreme training, becoming superhuman, being born to power, superior equipment, or coming from a place other than Earth. These power origins are only the broadest of strokes as to where a character's powers come from, and meant to inspire rather than constrain creativity. Powers, just like abilities, are ranked from weak, 1, to supreme, 10, and interact with the dice rolls in the same way. When making a power, it can be constructed with either extras or limits, allowing a wide range of powers. Sticky webs might be represented by mixing the binding power with the contagious extra, so that anyone interacting with the webs will become stuck to them. Powers can also be constructed for objects that are separated from the character. By taking paralysis and giving it a source limit, a taser could be created for the character.
All-American Girl has 2 powers, Chameleon and Invulnerability. These 2 powers appear in the Great Power Supplement for Icons, though they can easily be constructed from the Assembled Edition. All-American Girl's Invulnerability power is Resistance in Assembled Edition. The power protects her from anything that would damage her. Whenever someone is doing something that would reduce her stamina, she can use Invulnerability to resist the damage. Chameleon, on the other hand, is invisibility with a limit placed on it, only allowing the character to blend with their background rather than being truly invisible. While the limit is not written into the Assembled Edition, it is an excellent way to see how limits modify powers, and a group can come up with their own appropriate extras and limits.
Specialties are the skills, training, and luck that a character has in specific fields. Unlike abilities and powers, these are not measured in the same way. Instead, there are 3 levels for each specialty. You can be trained, expert, or master. These provide a +1, 2, or 3 to appropriate roles.
All-American Girl is an expert with martial arts. This means that anytime she attacks someone while unarmed or defends herself without weapons, she can add a +2 on top of her prowess.
Qualities are short pieces of descriptive text that are important to the character. They range from important aspects to a character's catchphrases and beyond. Qualities provide bonuses by acting in fashion consistent with the quality.
Examples of qualities from DC Comics superheroes might be the Man of Steel, world's greatest detective, and the fastest man alive, while Marvel made clobberin' time a famous catchphrase. For All-American Girl, she has 3 qualities: the All-Americans, studied under the dragon, and down to earth.
Qualities are used to gain bonuses, insight, recover, retcon story aspects, or even power stunts. They can also be used against a character to make things harder on them, compel certain actions, or explain sudden disabilities like the loss of invulnerability due to the presence of a space rock.
For All-American Girl, if she wanted a bonus while dealing with the martial arts world, she might say, "Because I studied under the dragon, I get advantage." If the GM wanted to compel her to save people instead of continuing a fight against a villain, they might explain that because you're down to earth, you can't willingly let these innocents deal with the danger that they are in without your help.
Qualities are not limited to characters. A dark warehouse full of boxes might have dark and cramped qualities. When fire powers are used in the warehouse, the game master might introduce the on fire quality to the situation when the boxes catch fire.
The most common way to use one of these qualities is to spend one of the character's DP. Characters can also create uses of qualities by taking action to establish them. A fire-using character might want to set that warehouse ablaze with their action, while another hero might take a moment to formulate a plan of action. Uses of qualities can also be paid for through consequences. The same warehouse fire might be a consequence the GM gives a player in order to activate a quality.
When qualities are used against players, the game master needs to spend their NPC's actions creating the situation that would use the aspect or provide the player with more DP. Challenges are similar to qualities, but they don't have a mechanical representation within the system. Instead, they are simply notes for the GM to read and get an idea of the things that you want to see that give your character trouble.
For All-American Girl, she has taken a few role-playing challenges referencing her family and her history. Additionally, she has a limit on her invulnerability listed here, giving her full invulnerability against slow-moving projectiles, but only 2 points of invulnerability against other sources of damage. I think the stylistic choice of the character sheet placed this within challenges.
Power stunts are things that your powers might be able to do, but it's not innate to the power.
A fantastic example of stunts would be the DC superhero, The Flash. Flash is able to run very fast and do things at an increased speed. However, he is able to stunt his powers by coming up with an appropriate amount of superhero mumbo jumbo in a variety of ways. This has allowed him to create cyclones by spinning his arms or running in circles. He can run up walls, phase through walls, create a duplicate of himself, and even travel through time.
Stunts are normally powered by expenditures of DP, but characters can gain permanent stunts that will no longer cost DP.
All-American Girl is able to blind or bind people due to her mastery in martial arts through stunts. She can strike so quickly that it is invisible and hit people that strike at her, all without spending DP. One of her stunts allows her to attack multiple times, but that still requires the expenditure of DP.
When it comes time for fist to meet face, you are going to need the rules for combat. First, initiative is determined by rolling a positive d6 and a negative d6, and adding coordination to the result. Highest roll goes first. Turns are handled in terms of panels. During your panel, you may move and attack. To hit someone, you would roll prowess for melee, coordination for ranged, or willpower for mental attacks. To get out of the way, an opponent would roll coordination to dodge from a melee or ranged attack, prowess to parry close attacks, or willpower to resist mental attacks. If the attacker ties the TN, they hit. If the attack hits, the strength of the attack is applied against any resistances that the target has.
If All-American Girl were hit by an arrow, she would ignore the first 6 points of damage from the arrow due to her invulnerability. If she had been shot by a gun or punched, she would instead only be able to ignore 2 points of damage due to the weakness challenge.
Once everyone involved has completed their panel, the page is turned and a new sequence begins from the top. The same order is retained from the previous page. And that concludes our crash course for Icons Assembled Edition. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you find this useful so we can keep putting out content for you guys. Bye!